Professor here, back to talk to you today about the belief that worry is a good thing. This is something I talk a lot about with my clients, and this is probably the one concept I get the most pushback on initially. So if you're listening and you're feeling a little bit resentful toward me, that's cool. Just hear me out till the end and ask a couple of questions of yourself. And then if you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me. Just go on your worrying way. But what I want to talk about is that we get this instilled in us, either at home or sometimes through society, that worrying is a good thing. Now you may say, that's ridiculous. I'm a worrier, but I certainly don't think it's a good thing. I don't like to worry. I wish I didn't worry so much. What are you talking about? Okay, so sometimes our beliefs are buried or not uncovered yet or hidden, and we sort of function in life on automatic and we don't always question our beliefs. So what I want you to do today is I just want you to listen, hear me out, and then ask yourself these questions at the end to see if maybe somewhere there's a hidden belief that worry is a good thing. Okay, so let's start off with well, there's a couple of them, but let's start off with the belief that some people feel like if they worry, it means they're a caring person. Okay, we all know that person who worries, you know, for everyone. It might be our mom, might be our friend, it might be our auntie or our grandma. They're worrying, oh, don't forget to take your lunch, make sure you wear warm clothes, you're going to get cold, wear your hat. And then they're, you know, if it's your grandma or something, they're always calling you, how are you, how's your cold, are you feeling? So there are some people in all of our lives, and if you don't have someone like that in your life, then maybe it's you, that you're the worrier, who are just worry about everything, and they believe that that's because they're a good person. Now, what I submit to you is that it's quite likely that you are a good person, but you would still be a good person if you stopped worrying all the time about everyone. Because worry is very draining, it zaps your energy, and it also can lead you to have a negative mindset about things. So I'll give you an example of some clients I worked with, one in particular who was a mother of 2 small children. And she worried constantly about germs, nonstop. In fact, she was worried when her kids were at daycare. When her kids, you know, she would like check in. Are you making sure to wipe things down? Are you making sure to you wiping their hands every time they go about it? Worry. Does that make her a better mother than the other mothers? I mean, that's up to you. That you can answer that question. I personally, when I sent my kids to school, I didn't worry about germs. All right, you may worry about germs, you may not worry about germs. We're all different. But I'm asking you to ask yourself that question. Is the mother who's constantly worried about her kids a better mother, a nicer mother, a more caring mother than the mother who has an awareness of things that could harm her kids, a reasonable awareness, okay, based on facts, not on feelings, and so prepares her kids to go off to daycare, and then, you know, lets that whole worry side go until and if she needs to worry about it. Is that mother less of a mother or less of a caring mother than the mother who really obsesses about it all day? That's a question I want to leave up to you. Does worrying make you a good person? Does worrying make you a better mother? I think in the long run, I would answer it no. Worrying drains you of energy, gets you in a negative thought cycle, and we tend to pass these things down to our kids. Okay, so that's number one. I want you to question if worrying about everybody, or even just your kids, just your immediate family, does that really make you a better caring person than, say, the mother or the father that do what they can, take care of what they can control, and let the rest go? Are they bad people? Are they not caring people? Something for you to ask yourself. Okay, so I get a lot of pushback on that because, of course, if you're a worrier and you have a lot of anxiety, you kind of hold on to that, right? Do you think another thing that we've come to believe about worry and it being a good thing is that it helps us to solve problems? Again, that's based in a feeling, that's not based in a fact. Okay, actually, research shows that when you're in a state of worry, a state of anxiety, and a state of panic, your brain is really not functioning at its optimal level. Okay, what I used to tell my boys when they were going into an exam, or if they were getting frustrated about doing their verbs, or whatever it is that they were building up worry and anxiety about a test, I would say, if your goal is to do as well as you can on that test, then I need you to explain to me how worrying about it right now instead of studying about it is going to help you achieve that goal. Something for you to think about. How does worrying help you solve your problems? Okay, if you're worried about an exam that you have to write, if you're worried about a big presentation you have to give at work, and you worry about it, how is that helping you reach any goal? So the goal is, I just want to get up in front of those people and I want to get my presentation over, and I'm worried that I'm not gonna do a good job. I'm worried that they're gonna judge me. I'm worried. I get it. How is that helping you? How is that helping you solve the problem of, I have to do this presentation, I'm not comfortable doing this presentation, I don't like being judged, whatever it is, all normal, natural, but how is it helping you? Is it helping you to solve a problem? Something for you to ask, because again, sometimes we believe the more we worry about something, the more likely we are to solve a problem. If you have a problem, like somebody lost a job, or somebody is very sick, or whatever, like real problems that present themselves to us in everyday life, that's worrying about it. Maybe you're going to worry about it initially, but if you stay there, if you stay in the worry, then you are not doing anything to help yourself find another job, or because what happens is we get bogged down. Okay, so with all the what ifs, what if, I mean, the truth is we don't know what if. Okay, and a lot of times if we follow the what if through, we see at the end of that questioning, it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, a lot of times problems get bigger in the dark, and they get bigger under the umbrella of worry. So worrying doesn't really solve any problems. Another one I hear, worrying, I need to worry because it motivates me to do things. Okay, if that works for you, worry just paralyzes me and makes me not do things. But so I had one client say, listen, if I didn't worry about being a good parent, right, then I wouldn't be reading all these parenting books. And if I didn't read all these parenting books, I wouldn't be a good parent. I would be lazy. I would just not worry about anything, and then I would be lazy and I wouldn't be a good parent. Does that make sense to you? If it does, carry on. But I want you to think about what worrying does to you, and also ask the question again. Do you think that worrying about everything and things that aren't in your control, and what's going to happen when your kids get to high school if they're only 5 years old now, and what if, and what if, and what if. Do you really think that makes you a better parent? Or might that energy be better served being present with your child, or maybe having little conversations about things to bring up awareness about things that you're concerned about? Okay, so I really want you to get the idea that there is a fundamental difference between having something in your awareness that needs to be taken care of and worry. Okay, worry really triggers your central nervous system, and then when your central nervous system sets off, all the things that you want to accomplish being a good parent, one of them can be compromised because you're tired, you're not feeling well, you're worried, you're bogged down. I can't tell you how many times I have been worrying about something with my boys, and I was like so into the worry that when they came to me and wanted to talk to me about something, I was so short with them. Leave me alone right now. Mommy's thinking. Mommy's this, mommy's that. Okay? So question, does worrying really motivate you? Okay? Or is it self-serving so you feel better about yourself? Does it make you a better parent? Does worrying make you a better parent? All of these things I want you to ask yourself. And if your answer is yes, it makes me a better parent, then do parents who don't worry all the time, does that mean they're not good parents? Okay? I know some great parents who don't worry all the time. They have a lot of awareness. They prepare their children for things that could or not happen, and then they let them go. They don't worry about them. When their kids are 18, 19, 20, listen, it's natural to be concerned and want the best for your kids, but to consume yourself with worry makes you a less available parent. That's my point. You may agree or disagree with me. You know what? That's how the world turns. Another big one, and I was a big proponent of this one, is that if I worry about something now, it's going to save me from feeling bad later. Okay? If you had a fight with your husband, or you feel like your husband's distant, okay, he's not communicating with you, you're feeling like he's distant, you starts off with a little worry. Oh, maybe he's not happy at home. Maybe he's not attracted. Maybe he doesn't love me. Maybe. And then it all snowballs. And then you keep worrying about it because you figure if it's true, all your worries are true, you're going to be prepared for it, right? But I want you to question that, okay? If you worry that your child's going to have a learning disability or a hard time at school, and you worry and you worry and you worry and you worry about it because you want to protect yourself from feeling bad, when and if you realize your child has a learning challenge in school, I'm pretty sure you're not going to feel any less bad if your teacher calls you up one day and says, you know what, we need to talk about Johnny or Jane. Okay? You can't prepare yourself for that. So what I suggest is that, is there a possibility based on the father and you that your child is going to end up being dyslexic? There's a possibility, okay? Too young to know right now. The awareness is a great thing because now with that awareness, you can take steps. You can get them into programs. You can be watching for things. But being aware and worrying are two different things, because the what if, you're not there yet. So when can you actually tackle that and do something about it? When the time comes, when you realize, or you've had your child diagnosed, okay, my child has a learning disability, solution time. What can we do about it? But if you worried for 3 or 4 years about it, and it never, your child is not dyslexic. Your child is no problems with learning. Well, except now they're like super anxious all the time because they don't think that they're going to ever be good at learning because you were worried about them learning. And I know a lot of parents say, I never tell them my worries. Well, kids are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. Okay. Is it possible that your kid may have a learning disability? Is it possible your kid may be bullied at school? Is it possible that your kid may get sick? Everything's possible. Worrying about it right now is not preparing you at all. It's just taking away your energy to do other things that are more proactive. Okay? And then when you find out and your worry or your concern is, it's like, yes, this is happening. We realize that my child has an issue, or my husband has been pulling away because, then you deal with it. And it's going to be just as hard, just as difficult to deal with. It's not going to be any easier. And it might be more difficult because you've spent all that time worrying about it. Again, worry affects your central nervous system, making you weaker and making it actually more difficult for you to deal with whatever comes your way. And that leads into the final point, is that worrying prevents bad things from happening. No, most of the things that you worry about never happen, and the things that happen you never even thought would happen. Okay? Worrying doesn't prevent anything. All it does is drain your energy. And I'm going to bring it back to kids because I saw this a lot at school. We build walls around our kids to protect them from the outside world, but it ends up being their cage and their trap. Okay? Because everything in the world is a big, bad, scary thing. We worry more now about our kids' safety than we did in 1970s. I don't think my parents worried very much about letting me go out and stay out at night. I was far more likely to be kidnapped in the 1970s than I am now, than any kid is now in 2022. Okay? Worrying and awareness are two different things. It feels, because of the internet, because of how we have access to all kinds of information. I've heard this said so many times, the world is an awful place. Well, it is if all you're reading about and seeing are awful things. Okay? It's really important to have awareness. Keep yourself safe. But worrying is futile. Worrying doesn't keep anything from happening. Awareness prepares you for the things that can happen, but even that's not going to stop something from happening. If I take care of my health as best I can, I eat healthy, I try to exercise, I try to stay ahead of my stress and all those good things. That's awareness of, let's say, a family history of heart disease. I do what I can. But if I worry about having a heart attack, I'm making the chances of having a heart attack greater. Because again, worry plays on my central nervous system. If I'm aware and I do what I can and I let the rest go, then I'm actually doing more than worry could ever do. And if I have a heart attack, no worry in the world would have prevented that from happening. So, for today, I want you to think about what your attachment to worry is. If you're a worrier, if you have anxiety, what is your attachment? What are your beliefs, whether you know about them or they're uncovered? What are your beliefs about worry? If you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a good strategy, you're going to rely on that strategy. Even though you hate it, even though it doesn't feel good, you're going to rely on it because somewhere, somehow, you know what, it got into your system. Okay, this is a good thing. I need to worry. Worry makes me a good person. Worrying helps me make sure that bad things aren't going to happen. Okay, worrying, awareness. Those are the two things that sometimes we confuse. Just want you to think about it. Ask yourself these questions. When we bring things into awareness, it's far easier to sort them out than when they're living in the dark. That's it for today. Subscribe, like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and we'll see you next week for another episode with the Anxiety Professor.